more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's a live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Welcome to CVM News at noon for this Monday, August 11, 2025. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amoy Harriet. President of the People's National Party, Mark Golding, addressed scores of supporters following the announcement of the general election date last evening, expressing confidence in the party's preparedness. Now, Mr. Golding declared that the party is ready to rescue Jamaica.
Election call itself because they were out of time. And so I say to you tonight, comrades, now we have to step up the thing. We'll be on the road and we'll be continuing to take our message of hope to the people. And I say to each of you in your constituencies, carry the message far and wide and let the people understand what we plan to do and how we intend to make a better life for the people of Jamaica.
Now, of note, JLP leader Dr. Andrew Holness announced a September 3 date for the election. To other news now, the brutal gun attack on the family of a police officer is being condemned. Reports are that the gunman launched in shooting the officer, his spouse and his child while they were traveling in a vehicle towards an area in St. James. Now, the spouse was killed while the officer and son remain in critical condition in hospital. More details from Damian Phillips.
Today evening, the officer was reportedly driving to Reading St. James and parked his vehicle along the roadway in the vicinity of Club Elevate. It is reported that men in a car pulled up behind them and there was an exchange of an item. Shortly after, gunmen from that car opened fire on the family. Detective Constable Michael Morgan, who is attached to the lottery scamming task force, is in serious condition in hospital. His young son is also undergoing surgery. The spouse of the police officer, 36-year-old Crystal Stevenson, shot dead. Shock and bitterness expressed by colleagues seriously impacted by the attack, but most importantly, prayers being lifted for the injured to survive. The Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, the opposition and the Police Federation all condemning the violent attack. Dr. Chang said the attack has shaken the resolve of the security forces and the government in an effort to improve upon the reduction in violent crimes, including murder. Minister Chang says the gun violence on the police officer and his family has doubled the determination of the security forces to find criminals intent on preying on Jamaicans. Chang has committed that the government will be giving the JCF the full backing to go after the thugs who attacked the lawman and his family. For his part, Peter Bunting, opposition spokesperson on national security, reiterated the opposition's call for urgent and effective action to tackle violent crime. Bunting called for protection to be offered to the families of law enforcement officers. Bunting also asked for better behavior from those he described as being distasteful in the sharing of images without regard for the emotional distress of victims. Damon Phillips, CVM News.
Now, in this week's Small Biz, Big Dreams, a Jamaican perfumer is turning island ingredients like coffee and lemongrass into luxury fragrances and taking weddings to a new sensational height. Details in this report.
It's the dawn of a new day, and the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation is shaping a future filled with opportunities and limitless possibilities. The government is building the foundation for a thriving tomorrow through strategic billion-dollar investments that fuel industries, facilitate an environment for job creation, and empower communities to rise. We are transforming Jamaica with world-class sustainable infrastructure, creating a nation where every Jamaican can achieve more and build a lasting legacy. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, investing today, building a future for tomorrow.
Thanks so much for staying with us and welcome back to CVM News at Noon. Now, the opposition People's National Party, PNP, is demanding the government, particularly the Ministry of Finance, treat public sector workers with respect. Opposition spokesperson on finance, Julian Robinson, says meaningful discussions should be had with public sector workers.
Totally unacceptable. That's how opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson, is describing the treatment of public sector workers by the Ministry of Finance and its Minister, Favour Williams. In an interview with CVM News, the opposition spokesman says the ministry and its minister cannot continue to ignore the workers. He says Minister Williams' decision to acknowledge and arrange a meeting with members of the Police Federation only after the chairman expressed her frustration publicly shows the scant regard for workers who want to safeguard their livelihood.
Our public servants should not have to go through this simply to get a meeting. We haven't even reached a negotiation yet. And it shows a disregard and really a disrespect for public servants that we don't respond. The ministry doesn't respond to correspondence in a timely fashion and also doesn't acknowledge particularly our policemen and women who are out there day and night putting their lives on the line to protect us.
Mr. Robinson is of the view that the ministry's response should be in a more timely fashion.
I really find the lethargic response from the minister, the length of time that it has taken her to acknowledge the Police Federation to be totally unacceptable. And it's not just the Police Federation. There are other bargaining groups that similarly have written to the Ministry of Finance and similarly they've got no response. It's really not an acceptable way to do business.
The opposition spokesman on finance believes more respect should be shown to workers.
So I'm calling on the government, treat our public sector workers with the respect that they deserve. Acknowledge their correspondence and at least say to them, if you can't meet immediately, set a date that gives them some assurance that their legitimate concerns are going to be heard.
Marjorie Gordon, CVM News.
All right, in small biz later on, a Jamaican perfumer is turning island ingredients like coffee and lemongrass into luxury fragrances and taking weddings to new sensational heights.
And so what we have been introducing is the opportunity for the bride and the groom, after making their vows, to take the particular notes that they each love to create their signature scent. And then we're blending both together, just like you would with the sands, different colors, putting them together. But we're using fragrances now. And just to be able to smell the floral that she loves, combining with the musk that he enjoys. And oftentimes what you find is that the lady wants to go within the man's collection of perfumes and use, and vice versa.
And we take a break, but stay with us. More news in a moment.
Deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling, don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down, shine your lights on.
The Institute of Excellence is now introducing Genius Minds Preschool and Special Education Center, which provides high-quality early childhood education in a safe, nurturing space where discovery, play, and learning come alive. Enrollment is now open, but spaces are limited. Visit us at 70 Manchester Avenue or call 876-986-7984. Genius Minds, where young minds grow, learn, and shine.
Deadlines slipping? Projects veering off track? It's time to take control. Start with expert-led project management training from Project Management Global Institute. Gain the skills to plan, lead, and deliver projects on time and on budget. Turn chaos into clarity and stress into success. Explore opportunities today by contacting 876-754-3764 or www.pmglobalinstitute.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Yendi, and this is Odyssey with Yendi. In this space, we connect with some of your favorite people as they share their journeys. Here we have some unfiltered conversations as we deep dive into their inspirations, motivations, and experiences to inspire our own life journey.
Odyssey with Yendi, brought to you by Grace, Singer, and Islandnet Services.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
From politics to global events, from social issues to breaking news, Lead Story Prime dives deeper, cuts through the noise, and uncovers the stories that shape your world. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Lead Story Prime with me, George Davis, for an hour of incisive analysis, expert interviews, and unparalleled coverage of the issues you care about. Lead Story Prime, your front row seat to the most compelling discussions. Lead Story Prime, where the truth comes first. Only on CVM TV.
Ganga and Saga have gone to get Christmas.
Yes. Nira and Jan is in critical condition. We cannot wait any longer. They should come immediately.
Why won't you do the test? Tell me, Kashish, why won't you do it?
Because I'm not pregnant, Ganga. I cannot allow a liar like you to live in my house. Get out of here right now.
The Chaturvedis will never be able to guess who is behind all of this. And hats off to you, Yash.
Yash? Get in the car, then our driver is going to take you straight to your daughter.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Attention registered voters! Remember to collect your renewed voter ID card before the upcoming general election. If you registered to vote in 2016 or after and did not get your new ID card, it may have been automatically renewed. Simply visit your EOJ constituency office to collect your voter ID card. Contact the Electoral Office of Jamaica at 888-991-VOTE or 922-0425-9 for more information.
The time by Subaru is 12:15.
Welcome back to CVM News at noon. With Jamaica's general election set for September 3 and nomination day for next week, August 18, we're gauging perspectives from Jamaicans abroad. Joining us now are Hilton Dennis and Wilfred Rattigan from the Diaspora in North America to share their views on the timing, key issues, and the role overseas nationals could play in this year's vote. Thanks so much for joining us, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so do you think this compressed campaign window gives citizens abroad enough time to engage and mobilize?
You're asking me the question?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look, constitutionally, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's an issue concerning compressed time because the Constitution provides for a timeline between the nomination and the election date. So it doesn't matter whether it's now at the end of the 5-year period or a year ago or 2 years ago. It doesn't matter. There's no compressed time period. But I think I know what you're asking. And it's about preparation. Are people prepared in the diaspora for this? And I can tell you that based on my conversations with a number of persons, they are prepared for this, and they've been preparing. So it's not compressed for them because we're at the end of the time period within which you can call an election. And so they've been, most of the people I know, they've been preparing for a year, 2 years prior. So they're ready.
So as a member of the diaspora, which national issues, be it economics, crime, education, or others, are you most following? And how do you think each party, JLP and PNP, is addressing those concerns ahead of the election date?
Well, let me just say that when you said national issues, health, education, national security, water, agriculture, all of them I'm following. But here is something that precedes all of those. It's leadership. If you don't have strong, effective, well-meaning leadership, then you could have the best laid plans for all of these issues, and they would certainly go to waste. I would want to see a leader that complies with the requirements of the Integrity Commission in terms of a statutory declaration. I would want to see a leader who's not wishy-washy, who, whenever corruption rears its ugly head, he speaks out, and he or she, I should say, to be correct, and take appropriate action. So for me, everything starts with leadership and cascades from there. Once you have effective leadership, once you have decisive leadership, once you have ethical leadership, then all of these other things, you don't have to worry about them, because what you know for sure is that you have a serious person at the head who's going to make sure that all of these issues are addressed. But when you have leadership that's questionable at the top, then you end up with things like the rural school bus program, where we are all in agreement that it's a noble program. It's something that whose time has come, or maybe should have happened a long time ago. But we're at odds with how the process took place and the implementation, and that speaks to leadership. That doesn't speak to the program itself, because we're all in agreement on that. So that's where I stand on it. Start with leadership, and then you can deal with all of these other problems.
All right, thanks, Mr. Rattigan. Let me bring in Mr. Dennis now. How significant do you think the diaspora